Hi everyone, this is part one of sewing your pants together. So first step is to sew all of your darts. So I have my front pieces right here. They're just both layered, and then I have my back pieces. Your back pieces have 2 darts and your front piece has 1 dart. So on all 4 of these pieces, we're going to first close up our darts. So on my back piece, I've got my drill holes marked with some thread that I threaded through. You can also just mark them with chalk, but I'm gonna find my dart legs and match them up. Remember that your excess here is on the back side or the wrong side of the garment. So just match up right side to right side. And we're matching up these dart legs, and then we're going to sew past our drill hole, 1/2 inch past that drill hole. Okay, I have sewn all of my darts and I have pressed them towards the center of the body. So the 2 darts on your back piece, you'll press towards the center back, and the 1 dart on your front piece, you'll press towards the center front of the body. All right, now I'm going to set my 2 back pieces aside, and we're going to work on connecting the pockets to the front pieces. So I'm going to turn these around so you can see what we're doing. Okay, first step for your pockets is to attach your pocket facing piece. It looks like this. So this is your pocket backing. It's a little wider up top. Your pocket facing is more narrow up top. So your pocket facing, you want to find the piece where this diagonal edge right here on your front, where it's the facing piece is mirroring it. So make sure you grab this one. Don't grab this one. So you cut this one. So your facing piece that goes to this piece is the one that has that diagonal edge that is a mirror of the diagonal edge on your front. So first you're going to take your facing piece, you're going to flip it to where the right side is touching the right side, and you're going to match up those diagonal edges. This is going to be the edge of your pocket right here. So you have some notches at 1/4 inch up here at the top. So I'm going to pin that together up at the top, and then just pin to where this diagonal edge starts to turn a corner. And you're just going to sew at 1/4 inch seam allowance just down this diagonal edge. Okay, I have stitched that together. So attaching that at 1/4 inch seam allowance down that diagonal edge. Now I want to understitch this piece, so I'm going to open this up and I'm going to press my seam allowance towards my pocket facing, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to understitch at 1/8 of an inch away from that seam. Again, that stitch is towards your pocket facing piece. I have stitched that understitching line to tack down my seam allowance, and now I'm just going to go to my iron and I'm going to press this on the fold of that first seam. So press it so that your pocket facing rolls towards the inside of your pant. Okay, I have pressed that towards the inside of my pant, and next step is to attach your pocket backing piece. So I want to show you first what this should look like when it's lined up. So you'll take your pocket backing piece, and the spot that is more of a straight edge, that's going to be the outside, like side seam of your pant. So you're going to find this notch right here that is kind of in the middle of this top edge of your pocket backing. Find that notch, and you're going to match up that notch with the edge of this diagonal seam right here of your pant. So I'm going to find that, and I'm just putting a pin in it right now because I want to show you what the final look will be, and then I'll show you what you're actually going to sew together. So that notch is, those two notches are matched up. Your pocket backing piece also has a notch down here towards the bottom of this edge. That notch matches up with the bottom of this diagonal seam that's on your front piece of your pant. So just so you can start to get a visual of what this looks like. So this would be the pocket that you would see on the front of your pant. So now that I kind of know where those notches need to line up, I'm going to flip this piece over. And what you should see is that the curved edge of your pocket backing piece should be matching up with the curved edge of your front, or the curved edge of your pocket facing. So again, pocket backing, pocket facing. So you're going to match up these curved edges and put some pins in. And as far as what we're sewing, we're going to stitch at 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're going to stitch along this curve until we get to the end of this curve. So let me try to show you a little better on the camera. So we're going to start up here, 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're stitching these two pieces together along this curve all the way around, and you're going to stop your stitch at the end right here. And we are just stitching the two pocket pieces together. So just these two layers right here. We're not stitching through our front pant piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over there and stitch 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way along this curve. Okay, I have finished stitching around that curve at 1/2 inch seam allowance, and you're ending right here. Again, you're just stitching the pocket pieces together, not the front pant piece. So now that that is done, really the only thing left for your pocket is it's still this top part right here will eventually be encased in a waistband, but right now I'm just going to make sure that the edge of this seam of my front pant, that diagonal seam, the edge of that is matched up with the notch on my pocket backing piece. I'm gonna put a pin in place, and then I'm going to just stitch across my pant at 1/4 inch seam allowance, just to tack down the top edge of that pocket, just to hold it in place. Okay, I have stitched across there. Also, this eventually will be connected in the side seam, but if this is kind of moving around, you can also kind of do the same thing right here. If you want to do like a little edge stitch or a stitch at about 1/4 inch, just to kind of tack down the pocket down here past this pocket edge. If you just kind of want to tack down this little seam allowance into the edge of this, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, I went ahead and did that just so that it's staying in place, and I don't have to worry about shifting around when I do sew this side seam of my legs together. But yeah, so that is how you do your pocket, and I am just going to do this to my other front piece, and then we will move on to the next step. Okay, after you have attached both of your pockets on your front pieces, you're going to connect your back pieces to your front pieces at the legs. So this part is really easy. You're just going to take your back piece, match up right side to right side. Make sure that the both of them have the curve of the crotch area, curve of that on the same side. So I'm just going to match up right side to right side, and I'm going to pin down this whole edge right here, and then I'm also going to pin down this inseam of the leg. So just match up these corners right here before you've got that curve. Just match up those corners and pin that down. And then you're gonna sew at 1/2 inch seam allowance down this full leg on the inside of the pant, and then 1/2 inch seam allowance down this outside seam of the leg of the pant. Just leave all of this part. You're just gonna leave this curve, all of this, just leave that open. Don't mess with that right now. Just 1/2 inch stitching down here and 1/2 inch seam allowance on the inside of the leg. And you'll do this for both front and back pieces. Okay, I've sewn this outside seam. Something I want to point out is that when you're looking at your pieces, your front leg is going to be a little smaller than your back leg. That's okay. So you're gonna see a bit of a gap here between these seams. You're just gonna match this up. So don't cut that off, or your pant pattern pieces are fine. Usually the front of the leg is just a little smaller than the back part of the leg. So you're just gonna match up, this is the inseam right here, you're just gonna match up these edges and sew at 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way up until you get to the corner of this curve. So just stop right there. Okay, I have finished sewing both sides of my legs closed. So the inseam right here all the way down, and then this outer seam right here all the way down. 1/2 inch seam allowance, so I've done that to both legs. And now at this point you could go in and serge both of these sides of your you could serge both of these sides of your seam allowance, or you could also do like a bound seam if you wanted to do that. But then the next part will be connecting these pieces and putting in your fly front zipper, and so I will do that in the next video.